Welcome, 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 everyone. This is your boy. This is your friend. This is the credit doctor, Angelo, coming to you with another Tuesday night conversation with entrepreneurs. We did have someone scheduled to be on with us tonight, but some things unexpectedly happened and they had to cancel. So we will be rescheduling that person to come back on a later date. And of course, if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, right? We welcome you to come on our platform to discuss your business and or service because we are about promoting people who have businesses and are entrepreneurs and want to learn how to grow their business and want to talk about their business. This is a platform in which you'll be able to do that. For we stream to our Facebook group, our Facebook page, to our two YouTube pages. So you'll get a lot of views and you'll be, exposed to a lot of people uh, when it comes to your product and or service. So please feel free to reach out to me and say I would love to be on your show. If you have your own business. Now, what I mean by your own business, of course, is you actually own it. You're not in direct sales. You're not working for an MLM company. You own the business. It is registered in your name. Now, whether that's a hair salon or whether that's a brick and mortar store, plumbing store, whatever it is, you do business, you do a type of service. If you own the business, you are an entrepreneur, and you would like to come on and promote that business on this platform, you can do that. And of course, free of charge. We don't charge to do that. We're about just giving you exposure. Of course, I want to shout out to my boy Stacy Adams, who came on our last conversation with entrepreneurs and talked about his music and talked about his film and his other products he got going on and things that he is doing. So we do greatly appreciate that. Hold on one second here. Okay. So of course we want to generate and encourage people to come on and let's build this platform up and let's get you some exposure. Now, it's all about, and of course, when we talk about business, we definitely got to talk about business credit. Why? If you have a business and you're not building business credit, you are shortchanging yourself. Now, you might not even know what business credit is. Business credit is really the opportunity for you to have your business stand on its own, whereas you do not have to give a personal guarantee for any loans or any credit cards that you may get. Everything will be done in the name of your business. So even, God forbid, your business was to go under, creditors could not go after you personally. They can only go after what the business accumulated. All right. And it's called business credit. And a lot of you guys are out there, having your own business and not even thinking about building it that way. You're talking about growing your business. You want to expand your business and you're not thinking about business credit. Now, there is a way that you have to build business credit, and we do have a program that teaches you step by step how to build business credit with a support team and everything else that goes with it. And it is worth the investment. When I tell you it's worth the investment, it is worth the investment because a lot of you guys want to grow your business. A lot of you guys want to take your business to the next level. You want to expand, you want to do some other things within your business. But if you don't have business credit, then you got to get personal guarantees every time you go to the bank for a loan, every time you apply for a Home Depot credit card or a Lowe's credit card or a Capital One credit card or anything like that. They're going to ask for a personal guarantee. And you know the reason why they want that personal guarantee? Just because, because just in case your company goes under, they want to be able to go after you personally for any debts that your company owes. And I'm saying, why do that when all these other companies have learned how to build business credit? It's the same way for Walmart. It's the same way for ShopRite. It's the same way for UPS. It's the same way for Federal Express. They all learn how to build business credit so as they can now get things in the name of their business allow you to purchase from them, take your money, pay off those debts, and anything else is profit. And they do it by way of what is known as business credit. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to me. Definitely inbox me here on Facebook and say, hey, I'd like to know more about business credit, building my business, and we can give you information on how that can happen or how you can make that happen. Outside of that, I want to talk about something else now. And this has been on my heart for months and months and months. And I want to begin to share my journey down through direct sales. Yes, I want to begin to talk about multi-level marketing, which has been around for decades, centuries, so to speak, going all the way back to Amway and probably even before Amway. But Amway is probably the biggest multi-level marketing company that most people are aware of. But since then, there are hundreds of thousands of multi-level marketing companies out there. And so we need to know what is direct sales or what is multi-level marketing and why some of us constantly go from one company to another company to another company to another company. Now, obviously, we're not going to talk about any direct company. We're not going to focus on any one company unless somebody asks about it. But it's in general, I'm going to talk in general and probably do a series on multi-level marketing and why you might want to rethink about joining a MLM company. Now, again, I have been doing multi-level. I've been in that. Before I started my own business, the Faithful Credit Group LLC, before I started that way back in 2015, I was actually working my company way back in 2009. I just really registered in 2015. But before I was doing any of that, I, in my younger teens and 20s and 30s, I've been exposed to many multi-level marketing companies. I mean, many times where people have said, hey, I got an opportunity for you. Come by my house and I want to talk about it. And then when I say, hey, what is it? No, just come by my house. And then, that's always the pitch. Just come by my house or come by my friend's house back there. Come to this office and you'll hear about it. It's an opportunity for you to make some money, right? And you could really make a lot of money. That's all normally been the pitch for multi-level marketing companies or direct sales. And direct sales is basically defined as selling a service or product directly to the consumer. All right. And within, we'll go into the history of multi-level marketing on another video. But again, I just want to talk mainly about my journey through multi-level marketing companies. Now, I've done quite a few of them, to be honest with you. I did Amway. I think my first one was Amway when I was a teenager. I did Amway. I was exposed to Amway, and I started selling Amway products for a while before I got out of that. And this is no particular order after Amway. I know I did Herbalife for a few months, got into that business. I did pre-legal. I got into Melaleuca, which was selling all kind of products, house products. If you never heard of that, that were supposed to be without what they call that, all those ingredients that are harmful. All right, they sold products like that. I did the pre-legal thing, of course. I did Primerica. I did WFG, which is another life insurance company that was based on also recruiting. So I've been in quite a bit. And I did some other ones that I can't even remember. I did some other ones that I can't even remember. But those are the main ones that stand out to me of the companies that I was a part of doing that. And then all of that, the question is, did I make any money? At the time, I thought I was making some money because I didn't know about profit and loss. And back then that, I just knew if I sold some products, then I was making money. I wasn't counting the fact that the stuff that I was buying, my expenses back then, because they didn't teach you about expenses and profit and loss back then. They just say, hey, join this company, you can make a lot of money. I did that. And if I sold some products, I thought I was making money, not thinking about the time that I was spending money to get more products, right? Or do other things within that company that I was actually losing. I was actually losing money. To be honest with you, I was actually losing money. in those cases, in those, in those things. So yeah, I've been in them, I've done them. So when you hear me talking, I'm talking from experience and research. So did I make any money in hindsight? No, I did not make any money. Was I promised that I could make a lot of money? Yes, I was promised I could make a lot of money. Was I told that, hey, all I got to do is just sell these products and you can make a lot of money? Yes, I was told that. And of course, if you left the company or you didn't do what they say you needed to do, then of course they blamed you. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't put everything into it, right? It was never about the structure of why you didn't make money. It was all about you not working hard. If you left the business or you didn't make money, you just didn't work hard. You didn't apply yourself, things like that. So you was always a problem. It was never the company. It was never their structure plan. It was never the way it was built. The pyramid that it was built upon, it was just based on you not working hard enough to do it. And that was always the thought in the teaching about that. But I always thought one of the things that I did know when I was getting into these businesses, these multi-level marketing companies, is why the secrecy when it comes to promoting a multi-level marketing company. Why, when somebody asks you, and I know a lot of you guys, whether you're listening to this live or you're listening to this on a replay, but why have you ever thought the fact that when someone invited you to an opportunity meeting, they really never told you what it was? They always said, just come to the meeting, just come to the meeting. If you want to learn how to make money, just come to the meeting. There was never, and all the ones I've been in that I named, the Herbalife, the Amway, the Primerica, the WFG, the Prelegal, the Melaleuca, all of them, and those are just ones I can remember, but all of them always said, hey, just come to a meeting. And when you ask for what is the meeting about, what is the opportunity for you to learn money, they wouldn't even tell you the name of the company. They'd be like, just come to this meeting. Somebody's going to talk to you about how you can make a lot of money, a lot of income, this, and that, and they get you excited about that. But I always thought, why the secrecy? Why you couldn't just tell me? But what it was. Why did I have to come to the meeting to find out what it was? Years later, down the road, did I realize why that tactic was always done, and it's still done today in most MLM companies. They still telling you, they're still asking you why, why. Um, that's right. Lady B said Mary Kay too. Yep, yep. And if you want to name them, yeah. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk about any individual one, but they all fit this structure. They all fit the structures. Let me say it like that. But why the secrets? I mean, it was always like, why the secrets? Why can't you just tell? And even to the point where, hey, when I was in that, I was doing it too because I was caught up in it. When I was in some of these, I was saying, hey, just come to the meeting because that's what I was told to say. I was told to do. Just get people to come in, because if you tell them what it is, they may not come. This and that, But if the product is so good, and the product is, why couldn't we just tell them? Why we have to wait to just somehow hook them into the meeting so that somebody above us could actually do the selling for us? So I thought that was strange. I always thought that was strange, but I never really thought about it or never really focused on it. But I always thought it was kind of strange that you could never tell nobody in these MLM companies up front. And trust me, I did the same thing. I was in that. I did the same thing. And I've had a lot of people pitch me the same way. A lot of people pitched me on that same concept. Just come to the meeting. You'll learn more about it. It's an opportunity for you to make money. You can make a lot of money and this and that. And the truth be told, you get caught up in that, because everybody's looking to make more money. Everyone would love to make more money. Everyone would love to leave their job, their 9-to-5 job, and do something better. A lot of people have the entrepreneur spirit in them. So when they hear of an opportunity for them to make more money, where they don't have to work as hard, their time is their own, they set their own hours and they do all of that. I mean, that's the pitch that you get until you get in there and find out it's totally different once you get in there, right? It's totally different when you get in there. So they pitch you on it, and then once you get in, they start telling you, hey, if you're gonna make money, you got to work a little bit harder, you got to do this more, you got to spend more time, you got, but that's not what they told you when they first was trying to recruit you. And so, and it still goes on today. It still goes on today. Lord knows, I'm at a point now, and no one has really asked me about any multi-level marketing company in the last 3-4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, and maybe because they know I have my own business or whatever. But before then, just when you thought that a person was not going to hear about that, one of your friends popped up. Hey, I got an opportunity for you. Hey, have you ever thought about doing this? I know you do credit, but have you ever thought about doing this and adding that and this and that? And it was always a multi-level marketing company that they was ready to pitch me on. And I was at that point was like, no, I'm working my business. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that anymore. I did those, I've been in it enough. I'm building my own business. And so I've had those pitches, and some of you guys probably still get those pitches, particularly from people that you may not have heard from in years, but all of a sudden they get to a business and they start, calling all their friends, that people that they haven't talked to in years. Hey, I got an opportunity for you to make money. Do you want to make money? This and that. And fortunately, that's the way it is. So we're talking about direct marketing. Now, of course, this program is called My Conversations with Entrepreneurs. And I had someone scheduled to be on tonight, and some things happened; they couldn't make it, so we're going to reschedule them. So I'm just taking this time to just share with you some information or some things I've learned about being in multi-level marketing, right? And yes, I've experienced the fact that they sell you, particularly. Again, I don't want to talk about any one particular one. But I'll talk about the ones that I was in, all right? Because I can talk about that, the ones that I was in. So Herbalife, I did Herbalife for a while, and I found out, I was buying more products than I was selling, because you had to buy a certain amount every month in order to stay, as what they call today, active in the company. You had to make sure you purchase a certain amount of product every month just to make sure you was in there. When Herbalife, I had a lot of that until I stopped, right? But I did have products sitting in my house that I just didn't sell, or whatever the case may be. So that's one of the pitfalls of multi-level marketing. You end up with a lot of products from these companies that you end up never selling. And the reason why is because, basically you are their client, you are their customer, not the people on the street, not the people that you're trying to sell to. These companies, you are their salesperson, you are their customer, and that's why they focus on, like in my case with Herbalife, focus on you buying products every month, And I did that, because I wanted to figure, hey, at least I'll try to sell. And again, a lot of these products that I was in, whether it's Melaleuca, or whether it's Herbalife, or whether it's Amway, and again, I'm only talking about the companies that I was a part of, right? A lot of these products really, even though they try to say they were better than the major brands that you could buy in the supermarket or in the store and things like that, in reality, they were not. Some of them were good. A lot of them were not. They were just overpriced. It really just overpriced. Things that you can get, generic brands that you can get in your local store that probably would have had the same effect as some of the stuff that you was actually selling. Right. But of course, you bought most of the product because you were the salesperson. You were actually the salesperson when it came to that. Right. They sold it to you. Your job was to sell it to the customer. But as long as they were selling to you, the company was basically making their money. And so that one component of just, buying products and stuff like that was, a big thing. It was really a big thing when it came to multi-level marketing. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, and again, I'm just doing an overview. We'll get into, we'll really get into a depth when we do study on that. I wasn't quite prepared because I was expecting to have a guest tonight. But the other thing that we're going to really be talking about is the recruiting process of multi-level marketing. So a lot of people say, hey, these multi-direct companies are scams. They're pyramid schemes and stuff like that. Because basically a pyramid scheme is basically, a person or a company taking money, going up and not really giving anything in return. That's really the definition of a pyramid scheme, where you're bringing people in who gives money to the company or the business without anything in return. And that money trickles up as you bring other people into it, And while the people on the bottom are not making money, the majority of the people on the top are making money. So that's typically what a pyramid scheme is. So when people say, hey, is multi-level marketing a scam or a pyramid scheme? People will come back and defend that by saying no, because they actually have a product or a service in exchange for you, joining their company. So they're just not taking money from you, but you are getting something in return. You get a chance to buy the product or the chance to buy the service, whether you need it or you're not needed. That's just it. So they say based on that, it can't be a scheme or pyramid scheme. But then again, that is loosely based, and we can definitely talk about that. I can share my views on why that really is, but we'll do that again at another time. But again, that component of recruiting, which is a big thing. So let's talk about that. That recruiting, recruiting is a big factor when it comes to multi-level marketing. Now they try to get away from the recruiting part and try to tell you that, hey, you could just make sales, you could just sell this, and you could make a lot of money. But unfortunately, the truth of the matter is those who make money are the ones who recruit and build the biggest team and get those teams active and get those teams working. So it is based on, if anybody invited you into a multi-level marketing company, just know that when they talk about you have a chance to make income that surpasses whatever you can make on a 9-to-5 job, right? That's all rhetoric, and on face value, that's true. But the way the structure is, 99% of people don't do that, can't do that. The way the structure is set up, because it's faulty in its basis, right? So recruiting is a big thing, and they'll tell you once you get in, hey, you could make a lot of money. This, hey, but invite your friends. Matter of fact, what is the first thing when you get into a MLM company? What is the very first thing your leaders tend to talk to you about? And they'll start talking to your friends and family. Start talking to your friends and family. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them, they want to support you. They can support you. This and that. Boom, boom, boom. And again, I don't care what company you're in. They all have this basic guideline. Now, their verbiage or their language may be a little different in the words that they use, but it basically means the same thing. Go out there, invite your friends and family first, which they call your warm market. And then when you run out of that, then you go to your cold market. That's people you really don't know. But that structure is the same everywhere in all companies. And if you're in one of those companies, I dare you to tell me it's not that way. I would love to have a conversation with someone who's still in the business and feel that what I'm saying is not true. It is highly true. It is highly, highly true that all multi-level marketing companies is the basis of you making money is recruiting. You can sell the product and you can make some money on the product, but when we talk about it, you're really not making money based on all the stuff you have to buy and be a part of and this and that. But it's really recruiting. they got to recruit. Tell your family, tell your close friends if they like you, they come support you. Recruit. They'll tell you, hey, Bill, you got to build the team, get those people, because you make money, and they give you that structure of how much money you can make when you bring in somebody, and then they bring in somebody, how much money you make, and then they bring in somebody, and then they bring in somebody. Or you can make this amount of money, this and that. But have you ever noticed that people who have been in multi-level business, including myself, multi-level marketing companies, have typically have not lasted like more than 2 to 3, sometimes 4 years. There's some people staying there much longer. I don't think I've been in any one of these business more. I think 3 years was the most I've been in one multi-level marketing company, and I believe that was Primerica. 3 years was the longest I've ever been in a company uh, that whose structure was built on recruiting as well. 3 years. So yeah, and have you ever one that it turns over, it turns over, it turns over, right? Sometimes the people that brought you in, like myself, I brought some people in and then I left because I realized it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me, right? And then I left. And I always tell people, listen, there's no harm in leaving. If you feel that it's not working for you and you're not doing, there's no harm in leaving. Just like if you was on a 9 to 5 and you believe that job wasn't working, what did you do? You went to go look for another job. No harm in that. But a lot of times, the difference between a standard 9 to 5 job or a person who have their own business, literally have their own business, and direct marketing, a lot of times when you leave, they make it seem like you're the bad person. And all you got to do is go on YouTube and type in anti multi-level marketing. You'll see all the people who talk about who have been in the business and talk about the evils of those companies that they were a part of, whether it's Melaleuca, Pre-Legal, which changed their name, whether it's Primerica, or Herbalife, or Amway, or any one of those companies that they were or in a part of. So recruiting is also a big thing, right? And don't let nobody tell you that, no, you don't have to recruit, because in order for you to make money in these companies, you have to recruit. I'm sorry, you have to recruit a lot of people. And I'm gonna tell you something, the only way that you really can be successful is you gotta have a big team that's not making money, but staying in the game. People have to lose money for you to make money. You might say, well, that's weird. How is that possible? Well, just remember, that's why the turnover is so high. Every time you bring people in, you get a percentage off of them, just like somebody over you get a percentage of you, of the products you sell and the things that you do, they get a percentage of that. And so whether the person's not really making money or not is irrelevant. As long as they're buying the product for themselves, then the people at the top are making all the money, which is 1%. There's a study that says 1% of all the people on the top make all the money. And I'm going to read something I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to read a study just so you'll see that it's just not me saying this, but there are other people involved as well. So let me bring up the screen. And if you're watching this on Facebook, on my group or page, just let me know if you can see the screen when I bring it up. Right, so you can see that screen, correct? All right. You can see that screen, correct? If you can see that screen, so I see a couple of people in here, just type in 1. Hit the number 1 if you can see the screen. Because I want to read, this was a study that was done. Of course, the article is from the Pink Truth, and they did a study, or they are talking about a study that was done by a couple of people on the multi-level marketing companies, all right? And here's basically what it says. And I'm just going to read a little bit of it. I'm not going to go read too much of it, but just going to read a little bit of it. And the title of it says 99% of distributors lose money in multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing companies will never tell you the truth about how many people lose money in their schemes. Now, this is their words, not mine. Some provide income disclosed statements, but those are massive, deceptive. They omit important information such as the churn rate of distributors and the definition of an active distributor. Even more deceptive is they purposely omit data on tons of distributors who earn 0 commissions, which means the earning numbers look better than what they really are. 2 in-depth studies were done by academics who wanted to know the true failure rate of distributors involved in MLM. One was by a guy named Robert Fitzpatrick, and the other one by John Taylor. Both of them did separate studies using different methodologies, and both concluded that over 99% of distributors lose money. All right. So let me just stop there. All right. So 99% of people in multi-level marketing companies lose money. Now, the Federal Trade Commission, which we can bring up those articles as well, talk about the same thing. Now, you might say, well, hey, any business loses money. If you have your own business, you're going to lose money. But the rate, but look at the rate. So 50% of new businesses that start every year, 50% of them go out of business within the first 2 to 4 years. 50% go out of business within the first 2 to 4 years, 2 to 5 years go out of business. That's 50%. But that's nowhere near 99% of people who lose money in multi-level marketing companies. That's still 99% compared to 50% still losing money. 99% is a high rate. So it's important that you know the truth of what's going on. And so I just want to talk about it and maybe kind of encourage you or give you understanding of why it's tough to be in a multi-level marketing business. Now, obviously, some of them will show you the people who, and again, if you're going to get into one of those, and I wouldn't even advocate it, but if you're just going to get into another one, get into it at the beginning, because most of the people who make the 1% of the people are the people who got into it when it first started. The 1% of people who make all the money, besides the owners of the company, are because they got into it in the beginning. And then when the company started growing, people who started not making money, the people at the top will always make that 1% was always making money. Now, every now and then, you're going to find somebody who surpassed that, maybe came in on the 5th, 6th, 7th year and rose to the top. You're going to find one person, two people who've done that. But still, 99 to 98% of people are going to fail or going to lose money. Now, it could be either lose money or just break even. I mean, you just look at the income disclosure, which we're going to take, we're going to do another video on that. Look at some of the companies' income disclosure, and it'll show you to break down even when you're in the business, how people are not making money. So you get the invite, you get the excitement. They tell you can make money. You're not in business by yourself. You're a business. Now let's deal with this. Another thing they tell you is that you're a business owner. So we will come back to the pyramid. We'll come back to the recruiting, which is a big process of that, and then let's talk about this idea of them saying you become a business owner, right? So when you sign up for any one of these multi-level marketing companies, typically you get the contract that says you are an independent contractor. Basically, you're an independent contractor, which means they don't treat you like a W-2. You're not an employee of that company. You're an independent contract who is just selling on behalf of that company, and they're going to pay you to sell on their behalf. Right, but in order for you to sell on their behalf, you got to buy the products. But I'll get back into that because I don't know how that's even makes sense when you think about it. Right, so they tell you that, hey, you can become your own business owner. Right, I was told that in the companies that I was in. You are independent contractor. You are a business owner, which made me think that, hey, I own the business. I own the business, right? I own a minute. I'm part owner of this business. Yeah, I'd love to be a business owner in Amway. I would love to be a business owner in Herbalife, the companies that I'm just naming the companies that I was involved with. I would love to be a business owner with Pre-Legal or Metaluca or any other ones that I had. But the reality is, I was sold a dream. I was not a business owner. I was just an independent contractor. But you know what? I started telling people I was a business owner because that's what they told me when I joined that. I own my own business. You own your own business. But nothing about that company that I was in was registered in my name. Nothing about any one of those companies that I was in was my name registered as an owner of that company, part owner or full owner or anything like that. But they sold me the lie that I was a business owner. And the fact that I can say I'm a business owner, they got me. They sold me on that. So you are not a business owner. If your name is not, when they look up your company that you work for, and they look up the company that you're a part of, and they say, I need to know who's the owner of this. And they Google the owner of Amway, your name is not going to be on there. Primerica, your name is not going to be on there. Herbalife, your name is not going to be on there. I'm sorry. You are not a business owner. A business owner is someone whose business is registered in their name with the state that they do business in. That's when you are a business owner. When you register the name of your company as an LLC or S Corp or C Corp, but when you register it with the state in which you do business, that's when you become a business owner. Just signing an independent contractor for an MLM company does not make you a business owner. Now, I need all you guys, whether you're watching this live or as a replay, to hit that like button and send me up some hearts. Send me some thumbs up. Because I'm going to come back, of course, and watch the video, rewatch it, and answer some of the questions I know you guys are going to have when you start watching this. Mm-hmm. How about some thumbs up? How about some hearts? If you like what I'm saying, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to educate you guys on that. Mm-hmm. There you go. Thank you, Patricia. Patricia is always there. Patricia is always there, right? When I do these lives. But it's important that you know this, right? Because again, multi-level marketing is big in the Black community. I mean, it's big everywhere, but it's really big in the Black community. We're sold a dream. Hey, come be part of this company. You can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. You can become your own boss. You know, you do your own time. You don't have to work a 9 to 5. You set your own hours, all of that. But when you look behind all of that, it is very deceptive to its core. Because once you, and I'm talking to somebody who was in it, you're listening to somebody who did a few of them. Once you're in them, no, you don't really you set your own hours, but they better be long hours. It's not like you're going to have time to spend with your children if you plan on making money. If you plan on growing in that business, it's not going to like you're going to have a lot of time to spend with your kids or your spouse or a thing like they promise and they tell you you're going to have more freedom. No, that is not the truth. If you plan on really growing and making money, you're going to work harder, not smarter. You're going to work harder. Because remember this, the money you're going to be making is going to be tied onto your recruits. If your recruits are doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's how you're going to be making money. So you got to always be encouraging your recruits. You got to always be encouraging your recruits. And when one of them or two of them quit, you got to go back and get another group to come on in because you got to keep that flow going. That's really how you make your money is through recruits. Let's be truthful about it. You can sell the product, but the majority of your money, and everybody knows who's been in it knows the truth that the majority of the money you make is based on recruits. Now, they will fight me tooth and nail and say that is not true, but they all know it. Just watch them when they leave the company. And then they start exposing things and start saying, yeah, that is the truth. Right? It's a shame, but that's the way it is. Recruiting is a big thing. You are not your own boss. I mean, you are not a business owner, put it that way. You are not a business owner when you become part of a multi-level marketing. You're an independent contractor. You're really a sales person for the company that you're working for. And I've heard people say, "Hey, this is my own business." That's what happens when you have your own business. I just say this happens when you have your own business. You could do this and that, but it wasn't my business. I didn't know that till I actually became a business owner of the Faithful Credit Group LLC. Think about it. I mean, just think about it. When they say you're a business owner, but yet they have so many rules and compliances that you got to go by. How is it that you're a business owner and someone's telling you what to do, or what you can't do, or you can't promote, or what you can't say while you're selling the products? What do you think about that? How's it your own business when you have a bunch of rules over you known as compliance? There's a compliance company that makes sure that you're doing things the right way. And I don't have a problem with that, because it's the business wants to make sure, you do it. Since you represent them, you're not your own business, you represent them, you're their salesperson. So they want to make sure you're doing everything right, which is cool. I mean, that's a compliance, but just don't sell the people that it is their own business, that they're the business owner. They're a business owner. They can do what they want with it. No, they cannot. And you will find that out the minute you join, and you start going to the meetings, or they do the Zooms now. They're gonna tell you what you can and you cannot do. So what's the difference? Like, I've been having my own business since 2015. The Faithful Credit Group, registered 2015, helping people build their credit. Guess what? There's nobody over me that tells me how I should conduct my business, as long as it is legal and I'm doing it right by way of the state that I do business in. I mean, the government, or I'm not breaking any federal laws or rules. Then there's nobody telling me how to run my business. But when you're an independent contractor for a multi-level marketing company, there are a bunch of guidelines that you have to go by. There are a bunch of standards known as compliance. And again, like I said, I don't have a problem with that, because they should protect, what they do. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with them telling you that you're a business owner, making you think that you own your own business. You own that business of the products you're selling. That Herbalife was my business. I was an owner of Herbalife. No, I was not. I was a salesperson. Sorry about that. But this is the truth of the matter. And it's time that, we kind of bring this to light. Because within our own community, we don't really talk about it. We know, but we really don't talk about multi-level marketing companies. Now, what was the latest scam that took place within our community when of course, this this disease thing happened? They don't like us to mention it or talk about it, but when COVID came into play, there was a big scam that started ruling through our committee, or our community. I'm sorry. And I finally found out what the name was. It was called the Blessing Loom. It was called the Blessing Loom, right? And what the Blessing Loom was, hey, you get people to come in, they bring in $500 or $1,000 or $100, and then there's like the fire, and then there's water, and then there's wood, and you get, once you put in your 500, then you bring in some other people, they put in 500, they move you over to the next level, you get moved up until all of a sudden you get all the money. I remember getting a couple of phone calls that I want to be a part of that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. If you don't see that as a scam, I don't know what it is. And that was circulating mostly, not only, but mostly through the church people, because it was known as the Blessing Loom. And hey, the church people are great on blessings, right? We're big on receiving blessings. So we title something the Blessing Loom. And we get a few pastors to talk about it or invite people into it, then it must be legit, right? Well, is that thing around now? Nope. It fell apart. And guess what? The government was warning people, stay away from that, because it's a scam. But let people tell you, oh, you can make all this money, and then you move out, but then you bring in two, three more people who bring in $500. So we gotta be careful. And I got about another 15 minutes before I wind this up, but this is not gonna be my last talk about the multi-level marketing. I'm gonna be doing more on that. And if you guys have a question about that or something, a particular topic you want me to talk about, please just let me know. Drop me a message, inbox, or put it in the status in the comments below. I'll find a way to definitely talk about it. Normally, this is every Tuesday night we talk about conversations and we really try to promote, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Promote entrepreneurs who have their own, people who have their own business, literally their own business. We want to give them a platform here on this show to promote and talk about their business so that we can support them. But we want to make sure you're not promoting a multi-level marketing company. We don't want you to come on here promoting a multi-level marketing company. We want to make sure that when you say you have a business, it is your own business. Your name, if I look up the name of your company or look up the name of your business, I should be able to see your name as the owner. All right. So if you literally own your own business, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you sell water on the block. But if you're registered, your business is registered, it's something you're doing, it's on your own, then yeah, we want you to come on and have a platform here with conversations with entrepreneurs because we want to put you out there. We want to get you involved. We want other people to see what you're doing, and we want them to support you. Right. So, as long as you're, like I said, two things you just got to have. As long as it's not an M business, and number two, not a illegal business. All right. We're not promoting anything that's illegal, right? Or anything that we deem to be illegal or not right. Right. So again, we want you to have a platform to help build your company. This is what Tuesday nights is all about, or every other Tuesday night as we bring in people to promote their business. We call it My Conversations with Entrepreneurs. We've had a few on already. We were scheduled to have one on tonight, but something happened and she couldn't make it. So we're going to reschedule that at a later date. But I'm taking this time now to talk about multi-level marketing, something that's been on my heart for months now that I wanted to share. Not only my journey through multi-level marketing, but I want our people to really understand what they're getting into, right? Just really want them to do research and look into what they're getting into. So we was talking about multi-level marketing. Is it a pyramid scheme? Some will say no because it has a product or a service that's tied to it. But is it shaped like a pyramid? Yes, it's shaped like a pyramid. Multi-level marketing companies are shaped like a pyramid. But then some people will say, well, hey, your job is shaped like a pyramid. You have the CEO of your company, and then you have who the managers, then you have the supervisors, and then it spreads out even more with the employees, things like that. So they'll say your job is like a pyramid, right? And that's true, but it's untrue in the sense of you trying to equate the two, because on your job that's shaped like a pyramid, yes it is, you're not making money by bringing people in to get hired. If I work at Home Depot, I'm not making money. They're not paying me to bring people in to work for Home Depot. If I bring somebody in to bring Home Depot, I don't get no money. I'm not getting paid every time they get paid. I'm not getting a percentage of their paycheck. I'm still getting paid for the work that I do. In multi-level marketing, when you bring people in, you get a percentage of what they make, of what they do, of their sales. And then the top people also get a part of their sales, and it keeps trickling up, right? So it's totally different in a sense of multi-level marketing and a regular company. Yes, they're both shaped like a pyramid, but they act differently. So don't be fooled when people say, hey, your job is also multi-level marketing. Just say, well, hey, yeah, but I get paid for my time, not for bringing people in. I get paid for the 8 hours or 10 hours that I work. And even if I bring my friend to get hired, I don't get no money off of him. That's the difference. So pyramids, in terms of multi-level marketing, is based on you recruiting people in. You're getting a percentage of them coming in, and then when they bring other people in, you get a percentage of those people, and that usually go around 2 or 3 legs deep, or 4 or 5 legs deep in some companies, before they say, okay, you can't make no more money off of anybody else that they bring in, right? So when we deal with that pyramid, it is shaped like, both of them are shaped like a pyramid, but they act totally different, right? So don't let people equate the two, because it's structurally and fundamentally and uh, financially paid different. All right. So again, just want to let you guys really know some things about multi-level marketing. Now, again, I'm not trying to go hard right now on multi-level marketing companies. I'm just giving an overview of, but again, we just read a study that said 99% of people who get into it actually lose money in that business, actually lose money because, like me, when I was in those business and not realizing I was losing money, didn't even know I was losing money, because I thought that, hey, when I sold Herbalife products, I made money for that. I was making money, but I didn't count the times every month that I had to buy products. I didn't count when they wanted us to have, or they had events or things like that. If you want to buy tickets to that or anything like that, that was part of that. I didn't count my expenses. If I sold some vitamins, I thought I was making money. But you always have to understand profit, profit or loss, which is income minus expenses. If your income and you minus your expenses and you still have a positive flow, then you're making money. But if you have income, you're making money, but then you minus your expenses and it comes out to a negative, that you're losing more money, and that's what the case with most people, then you don't have a positive flow. And so we are not really taught to think like that in multi-level marketing. Right. So some companies, you got to pay for the website. Like I said, you got to buy products every month. They have the events that you got to buy tickets to, and go when you get to the events. They have other things in there that you got to. Sometimes you got to pay to get into those events, even at the event. So all of them is different, but structured the same. They may do some things a little different, but they all structure the same. So yeah. So as I begin to wind this up, if anybody have any questions out there that you want to type in, uh, just type it in on Facebook. So I know a lot of you guys not coming into the room, but type it in on Facebook. And for the next 8 minutes, if you have a question, I'll be glad to share what I know about that. And again, overall, I was just sharing my journey through multi-level marketing companies. And again, it's so many of them out there. It's hundreds of thousands. And people will say, well, if they such a scheme, if they are such a scheme, if they are such illegal, why don't the government shut them down? Well, a couple of things. There's a lot of things going on in this country that's illegal, that the government has not shut down yet, but they're still operating, and the government knows they're operating. So just because the government hasn't shut them down yet does not mean that what they're doing is legal. That's number one. And number two, understand that if you know anything about lobbyists, the multi-level marketing company have gotten so big that they actually have people that go to Congress and lobby that certain laws are changed so that multi-level marketing companies can stay afloat. And they lobby with millions of dollars now, not hundreds of thousands, but millions of dollars get paid to congressmen, House of Representatives, to turn, basically, in my opinion, turn the other cheek so that they can, and again, we can get into some of the nuances like Amway and all that, how they really was the leaders in making this happen. But yeah, so millions of dollars every year is poured into what is known as a direct marketing as a company or a group of people that got together to say, hey, let's go to congressmen and representatives and let's lobby them so that a lot of these laws, they can turn the other cheek, look the other way. And so that's what happened too. So the argument of, well, if they're really illegal, then the government would shut them down. That's not true. Some have been shut down, but very far and few in between that happens. And so a lot of them get away with, continuing to operate the way that they're doing. And so my takeaway is that, listen, be careful before you get into any multi-level marketing companies. Do your homework, do your research. Find out more about the company itself. Look at their income disclosure. See how many people actually make money and some people who don't. And again, remember the study. And I'll go back to it. Even the Federal Trade Commission put this study on their website that says 99% of people who get into multi-level marketing don't make any money or actually lose money when they start subtracting all the expenses that they put into compared to the income sales that they were making. They were actually losing money. And so don't let people fool you when they say, hey, I make 6 figures or I make 7 figures or this and that. Very few actually do. And that's that 1% at the top, that 1% at the top. But even then, if you really do the work, you really do the homework, it may not be as making much as they say that they're making. And so they don't talk about the expenses that you put into it when it comes to that. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Even you guys who are going to watch this on a replay, I really appreciate you guys about that. I may change the title of this subject for my conversation with entrepreneurs to my journey through multi-level marketing companies. And I've been in quite a few of them. And again, it's your choice. I'm just laying some things out there. It's your choice whether you want to be involved with them or not. I just say do your homework. Just find out what it's really about. Is it really recruiting that you have to do to make money? Do you really make money? Do they teach you about expenses or anything like that? So you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed evening. You know what I always say, stay blessed. Whatever you do, stay blessed. But what's even more important is that you are a blessing. And with that, we say, have a blessed day.